Hey, everybody. It's Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Mask. If you watched the last episode that was out, you'll know that the Wheel of Illusion has picked the Mobile Defense Unit as the first Loyal Subjects toy that I will review. I'll be putting it up against the original, taking into consideration what has already been reported, and make sure that I give it a fair shot overall. And some people are still wondering why, and it's a toy. Going back to previous thoughts, this is something 40 years in the making with very little in between. And for us to have the opportunity to have these done in this fashion is fantastic. But what's not fantastic is the fact that just about every bundle and individual sale that went out seems to have some sort of flaw with the Mobile Defense Unit in particular. So it's okay to be upset, for quality issues, because these they cost a lot of money. And if this is the only thing in your set, if you're collecting, you want to get just the new stuff. That's not great that you have something that's not 100% of what it's supposed to be. Or if you're adding it in to sit side by side with your current collection, it's something that you're allowed to be upset about. You're allowed to question why. And as far as I know, Loyal Subjects has not put out anything to apologize, to try to make things right. I'm hoping that does happen, because if we are sending these things back, one thing we have to remember too is the middleman. Right now, I believe Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon have the units for sale. Now, not so much Amazon, but for Big Bad Toy Store to get these back and return, it's $350 sets. And then they have to sit on them because they're defective, so to speak. So remember that as we're going through all this, and really help paint a fair picture of what we are adding into our collection. So tonight, we're going to be taking at the Mobile Defense Unit right there. Now, I am not an expert on copyright or trademark law, but the term rhino, I don't get why that would not be able to be used. Again, there's a reason why, but they picked a terrible name. They're describing the toy. Are they going to, down the road, once they get the approval, send us a sticker to put over it that says Rhino instead of Mobile Defense Unit? That's a tough sell. And that was my biggest pet peeve from day one between Rhino and Switchblade. If you have any insight into the direct reasons why, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see. I did look up a couple things to try to see if I can find the word Rhino or Switchblade trademark, but I don't think I was looking in the right spots. So let's look for that together, and we'll put that in the chat. It was asked to get some weights for the toys to compare side by side. I had that thought too, but I cannot find my kitchen scale to save my life. And I didn't want to hold up the videos in that fashion. I'll try to guess, but definitely let you know which is heavier. Connor's probably going to be hard to figure out, but we should be able to get a good baseline. as we're going along through this, if you have an issue with your mobile defense unit, let me know in the chat. And what, if any, what did you try to rectify it? Did you send it back? Did you cancel your order? Did you put any pressure on loyal subjects? Whatever the case may be. Now, I'm going to get the makeshift light box up, and we will take a look at the mobile defense unit unboxing, looking through it for quality, and comparing it to the original Rhino, along with the figures that come with it. Particularly, I'm really interested in the Scott and T-Bob. So let's head on down there, take a look. Okay, one comparison that I want to get out of the way first. It just so happens that I still have the original Rhino box, and I wanted to see exactly how much size difference was it on there. And what we're looking at is about, if I had to guess, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So the Rhino box is smaller. Same cover art done by Lance Anderson. Let's see. It's just different scaling on that there. On the sides of the boxes, it does mirror the original, which is pretty cool. I do like that. So as I dig into this, the camera's going to move around a little bit, so I apologize. But I want to make sure that we're getting into everything we need and not miss a thing. I'm looking at the box. Rhino came out of the sides, right? Do the others have tape in the opening at the top? I'll have to look at that later. Just noticed that. Okay. The counter inclusion is a nice touch. But again, I just hate this name. I really do. It's actually climbing the ladder. It's almost billboard blast levels. Alright, so right away, open. So right away it slides out. And what we have is this. The original boxes had cardboard inserts, so I will say that I like this better. I don't know if it's more cost effective to have this custom mold made or to use something that might already fit. So kind of an interesting thought, but it's packaged well. I don't see any issues so far. Let's see here. Let's get it open. Yeah, I wanted to point out it comes with the gray missile. Normally it would be black, but this one comes with gray. So that's a nice touch too. They're harder to find. I hope they have markings on it. It signifies that it's from this set and not the older one, because the older one's sold for like $100. So hopefully they don't get any people trying to con people on that. Pull this off, it will all collapse. Let's do it this way. There's tape on the sides. I regret my decision to go that way, but I have to live with it now. So here we have the sticker sheet for Mobile Defense Unit. A lot of the complaints about this so far has been that the cuts are too short and that the stickers fall off almost instantly. I'm not going to make you suffer and watch me put all these on, but I will get them on through the video and we can do a comparison to the original. Here we have the guide. I like that they tried to capture the same feel as the original. So that's a good touch. Licensed by Mask and Hasbro. Interesting. Alright. Comparing the missiles. Again, this one here is what you're going to find 99% of the time. This one here, hard to find from the original line. So I'm happy that they went with this to give the collectors a little extra treat. The figures themselves, I'm pretty sure there's going to be no comparison. The Loyal Subjects definitely takes it with that. I mean, that Scott is really well done. And we got T-Bots as well. The figures pretty much do the same thing. What you're going to find with the Loyal Subject version is a larger mouth and smaller eyes. And here's an issue. My T-Bot is stuck there. So that's one thing to point out. I don't know if anybody else had that issue, but comment if you had. That was really tight. So maybe that's not an actual issue, but it's definitely something to be able to throw somebody off. Details, pretty much the same. I like the rendition. I'm glad they included it. For the figures, Matt and Bruce, what their figures do that others don't do in the original line is have facial expressions and eyes. So that's a nice touch too. I like this. They have pretty good articulation. Not at the elbow, but at the knee, at the waist, and at the upper arm there. They come with two versions of the masks. So they have the short version. It fits on there really well. And then we have another little nod to some of the more hardcore collectors, a long version of Ultra Flash with the power actually coming out of it. Now this would be a really cool display piece if they actually go through the rest of the line. Otherwise it stands out too much by itself. It would go against the grain of what's out there and what we do and don't need. And here's Bruce for comparison. Oh, that's tight. Alright, so we got lifter on. Leaves a little to be desired. There's a lot of open area here on the bottom of the mask versus the original that fits like a glove. More detail, more color is a plus, but I would go with the original, the new one. And here's some other accessories as well. This goes on the back of Rhino on the car that pops off. And then we have some projectile pieces for display. The extras are a nice touch. They didn't have to go through all that trouble to put that out there, but they did. So far, pretty much, pretty good. Alright, so here are mobile defense unit and Rhino side by side. Now my Rhino is not in the greatest shape. I'm planning on repainting the chrome on there, and you can see it just deteriorated, wasted away almost to nothing. But it's fixable and will continue to endure. This one had its flaws, don't get me wrong, but the issues that we are trying to figure out and see if they actually exist everywhere. A quick side-by-side comparison. There we go. Now I'm going to lift Rhino, and I want you to take notice of the back end. Did it sag at all? A little bit. All right, just a little bit. On this, we have pretty much the same. No, I spoke too soon. So it doesn't appear like it sits in there flush, and there's nothing in there to really hold it together as straight as the original. And I have seen pictures of this in videos where the back end basically flops like this. So that's something to actually be concerned about. Now, if it's on display, you won't notice it, but in the back of your mind, you'll still know if you ever pick it up again, it'll look like that. All right, let's try the mechanism on here to release. Oh, wrong side. Oh, wrong side. I forgot it just pulled out.
That's what she said.
Nothing to write home about here. We all know that we gave this to our little brothers when we were using Rhino. They got this thing. I'll keep that off for now. I'll put those. Ooh, let's see. So my smokestacks do not stay upright. It takes a little extra pressure to get the ejector seat back in. And the doors are really flimsy with their seal. I feel like they could just open up at any time. That's a definite drawback. Chrome on it looks great. On some of the ones that I've seen complaints about, we have these being upside down. Now, let's compare the old with the new. Mine looks okay. Oh, I don't think there's an issue there. Check the other side. No, I would say that those barrels they're good. And this door just opened up on its own. So I was just talking about, just kind of happens. Let's try the mechanisms on it, even though I already did by accident. I believe this is the ejector seat. That fired off really well. Get that back in there. And you see how the smokestack doesn't stay up, so it's a little cumbersome getting that back in. But this is an issue of if you're opening the box and getting this on display. I'm sure there's something that could be done to fix it, but why should we have to dig into something like that to fix a fundamental flaw? Is the question I'll never get an answer to. All right. The cow catcher just went off by itself. So that was kind of weird. It works well. I don't see any issues there. Let's check inside. And it just went off again. I didn't press anything. That's great. All right. Let's get the spray missile in for a fire test. In 3, 2, 1. And let's see if the black missile fits. It does. 3, 2, 1. Not bad. Not bad at all. The details in there, it's pretty standard. The thing that is a little upsetting is that there's a lot of dead space in there, and they really could have tried to do something a little more elaborate with the computer space itself. I don't know. That was always something I found lacking from the original, and it's not for them to pick up an issue from the original to bring back to here, but you know, nice to have are nice to have. And this thing opened up again. I'm gonna be sleeping, and this thing's gonna pop open, and it's gonna scare the hell out of me. That's what I already foresee that happening. So overall, with this, minus the stickers, which I said I was going to apply, but I'm going to do that at a later time, and I'll give a report back. There are definite issues here that are troublesome, not just with the name of the toy itself, but my cow catcher fires all by itself. Smoke tracks do not stand up, which looks terrible, and the doors open freely, and the back end flops. It's things like that that take the last 40 years of time waiting. And that there is the best I can do to give the product a fair shot with everything. So I hope it wasn't too heavy-handed. I really hate that name. The more I look at it, the more I say it, I hate it. So loyal subjects, get your trademarks figured out and send us a sticker to put over top. If it drives you crazy, like I do. If you paid attention in the last episode, you'll know that Condor was picked second to go by the Wheel of Illusion. So that's what we'll do next. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, Stanley Cup predictions, you know where to put it. So as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to help keep Mask alive. And this is Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and I hate that name.